And so Satoshi, she wrote this amazing white paper, and she did it. Hey, you know, when someone's anonymous, you can pick who you want to pick.
We are here to overcoming the eroding of the American way of life. And I say it as a German dude.
We should treat each other with respect as equal members of the human species.
Let me... Idealists.
It's a constant struggle, like it's a constant fight back and forth between eras of re-centralization and decentralization.
Decentralization is key to keeping that money without masters.
You can think of it almost like America and Bitcoin share this polarity, revolutionary force, imperial power.
How are you doing?
I'm not on fire, and so that's good.
That's wonderful.
We don't know what's going on with this subject, even if it's a pandemic and the most vital thing in our lives. It seems like we don't really know what's going on.
And one of the things I learned is that most of the people who make those sorts of noises are people who never discovered anything scientifically and never started a business. And so because they know nothing about either, they think that doing both would be easy.
Well, my basic premise is that we are not that significant in the big scheme of things.
Last year was my first conference. I was out in the audience. Nobody knew who I was. My podcast really didn't exist. I had dropped a couple episodes, and I came here with my best friend and handed out business cards in the long line for the boys' bathroom because there's so many men here and not enough women.
Yeah, when you take the red pill, you don't consider about when Bitcoin is $1 million, you consider about the fact that you won't need to sell it.
You know, Satoshi once said it might be worth getting a few Bitcoins in case this thing catches on. Do you think this thing's catching on?
We see a lot of other things out there where it's basically just gambling, frankly.
The question on all of our minds, you're talking about aliens, extraterrestrials in all likelihood.
Bitcoin is the greatest tool in the monetary market. You're going to see everyone you know and like, and even those you may not care for, attach themselves to it. It's all good for Bitcoin.
If you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door, which it won't, because first of all, we don't need a better mousetrap, really.
What good is a product if no one knows it exists? I wanted to add to that, and knows how to use it.
And that's why, you know, we don't hear from them very clearly. But I do believe that smarter cultures exist out there.
We have a situation where there's an island in the Andaman Island chain in the Indian Ocean called North Sentinel Island. We think that there are probably about 300 islanders. They don't know that they're claimed by India. India won't let anyone land on this island. And they're probably thinking that they have a Fermi paradox. They see ships in the distance. Occasionally, they get a visitation. They kill whatever it is that lands on their shores. Is it possible that the explanation for so many possible civilizations and worlds, none of them having conclusively visited us so far, is that we're in fact owned by something else, claimed, and we are the North Sentinelese?
Well, I didn't think we can get more cosmic and whack, but here we go. We're going to the moon here.
Bitcoin's not just a technology. Bitcoin's not just an asset. Bitcoin's not just an ideological movement. Bitcoin is a rebirth. It is a rebirth of our society, of our economy. It is the rebirth of humanity. And there's nothing more important happening in the world, other than maybe the heat death of the sun itself, than Bitcoin.
Raise your hands if you don't have a whale on your bracelet. Cool, so people have been asking me, what does that mean? So if you find someone with a whale bracelet, then it means they're better than you. So now that I've got a whale bracelet, it's great to be up here looking down on you guys.
You don't be defensive about the ethics of your capitalistic enterprise. Quite the contrary, you should be on the offensive, claiming, like forthrightly, that what you're doing is profoundly ethical.
You know, somebody asked me yesterday, doesn't Bitcoin just let rich people hide money? And the answer is no. Bitcoin lets poor people hide money.
Really? If you're still into fiat, you might be in an abusive, unhealthy relationship.
That's a good one. Somebody actually ordered food online with Lightning and had it delivered to their house.
the cynical view, and many academics share this because they're jealous and they tend to sit on the left.
And one thing we are clearly missing is being open-minded. We are too focused on ourselves and we fight with each other.
To me, it sounds like he needs to read a few more Bitcoin books, but are these valid concerns to you, Michael?
I'm going to send him a pair of laser eyes.
You know, there's always a new generation of people that think they're smart enough to plan the world. And Bitcoin, in principle, stops that from happening.
Because when you've got this hyper bullishness on anything, right? When people get too bullish on a policy, people got bullish on lockdowns, people got bullish on mask mandates, people get bullish on everything, and it means that they're not thinking about the potential repercussions of it because they're so focused on that one thing.
And, you know, let me tell you how it all got started. In the 1990s, during the SETI at Home project, the God particle of Bitcoin came in through the SETI project. It informed the minds of Hal Finney, Adam Back, and Nick Szabo. And then the cypherpunks went on to create what was in the God particle that became Bitcoin. Then a Genesis block was born on January 3rd, 2009. And now we're living in the cosmic God consciousness that is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is now a sovereign state of 150 million people.
Well, think of it as if we are sitting in the living room and there are some people we don't really enjoy being with. And moreover, parts of the living room are on fire. So my suggestion is let's look out the window.
Is Tether backed by Bitcoin? Is that speculation?
It's backed by a basket of assets.
Basket of assets, okay.
And Bitcoin actually allows altruism to come to the surface. And because it essentially monetizes peaceful behavior, because there's no way to coerce somebody's Bitcoin from them. It's unconfiscatable. So in essence, it demonetizes violence.
There's nothing that slips through the hands of a fool faster than money.
One of the most interesting things we saw this year was Luna, right? Do Kwon at Luna, a friend of mine. I think I'm the only guy in the world with both a Luna and a Bitcoin tattoo.
There's a stable coin backed by Bitcoin. The stable coin that is backed by Bitcoin is the fastest growing stable coin. It's up 500% in 4 months.
So at the beginning, or at the end of 2020, my dad got into Bitcoin and he just wouldn't stop talking about it, and to the point where I was like, please, I've had enough, you know.
We are all in, and we're going to keep going until every person on this planet, everywhere in the world, in every country, is free from the slavery of fiat.
The Bitcoin protocol converts greed into altruism.
What good is a product if no one knows it exists? I wanted to add to that, and knows how to use it.
And so they literally beat Max up.
They were like all up in my ass and shit.
Did you hit them back?
Yeah, I'm safe though because I have Bitcoin to protect me. Bitcoin is a shield. We got the rockets of the IMF. We got the ballistic missiles of the central banks. We got the Jamie Dimons of the world. We got all those shit posters trying to attack Bitcoin, but we got the ultimate shield against them all. We're going to win, and we're winning right now.
Over your life, you rub against people, and then even though you had some unique colors when you were born, just like seashells on the beach, rubbing against a lot of people, takes away your special colors.
What I've heard is that whatever it is that's out there appears to be particularly interested in our military.
One of the lovely things about cash is that it is a decentralized monetary system in large part. It's not that easy to track cash, thank God.
Right, well, Bitcoin as store of value and hodling is the use case that made Bitcoin what it is.
And I actually thought about the issue of a black hole just because I had a flood in the basement of my home. And I noticed that the sewer, the pipe, was clogged by tree roots. And that led me to think, what happens to the matter that falls into a black hole? Does it get clogged? Is there an object in the middle? Or does it go somewhere else to another universe? So actually, I was talking about it with a plumber.
Peter Thiel, my friend and employer, refers to me as insufficiently apocalyptic because I think that there's hope and there are things that we can do to, in fact, diversify the existential risk that we are forced to run because many parts of our world are out of ideas.
Well, Michael Saylor, Ricardo Salinas said he's 60% now in Bitcoin. And I said, well, you're short. You know, you need to take an aggressive position.
So that was our announcement. If you have any other questions or want to talk to us, our booth is in the main exhibit hall. We are behind the volcano to the left. Thank you.